Welcome to TheoTRADE. Don Kaufman here, March 4th, 2026. An hour to go to the cash close here on this Wednesday afternoon with the S&Ps up almost 70 handles. Start there on this evening's video. You recognize that given some of the volatility we've seen past couple of trading sessions, $70 move, you're like, oh, we're ripping to the upside. The irony of that's precisely what the market was anticipating the expected move would be for today. Literally the expected move in the SPX, and I always key into this, the expected move in the SPX was literally $69, and there we are, a $69 move. But I got to tell you, looking at the marketplace, it's pretty shocking. Right now in the week, we are massively unchanged. You know it. You love it. It is massively unchanged. Who would have thought, given all the geopolitical headlines, the S&Ps would be unchanged, at this point in the week? But I'm just going to tell you, we're right back in that range. And it's the same range, but the risk, it remains. And I can't stress that enough. And I apologize for the fact that rhymes, back in the range, but the risk remains. Yeah. Nevertheless, we're right back inside of the range. I was pointing out this exact chart. What you're looking at is year to date inside of the S&Ps. You realize, again, the entire year range can be summed up in literally 200 points. But I take that back. Okay. Yesterday, we had this wild and woolly move to the downside. And the one thing that, and I really do, if there's one thing you get out of tonight's video, it's that there's still a huge amount of risk in the marketplace. Whether that's geopolitical or not, I don't really care. You can argue the geopolitics to your blue in the face. I think that everybody would agree that, from a geopolitical perspective, of what has gone on thus far, wouldn't you think oil would be a little higher than $75? It's only 74 now. $75 a barrel, though? I think it's handled it quite well. Incredibly well, if you will. The energy sector itself, this thing's actually backed off a couple of points, right? So why do I still think that risk kind of remains? Why does risk prevail in here? It's not what I'm seeing in the S&Ps. The S&Ps, what are they really telling us right now? Absolutely nothing. There's nothing to go on here. Look at this 90-day 2-hour. Just look. Take a look at the 90-day. This is 90 days in the market, 2-hour, and we're going to, what they do called contract adjusted, hit apply, hit OK. I just want to show you the last 90 days in the marketplace. What do you got here? Okay. You got absolutely nothing. You're literally slop-tastic inside of a 200-point range, right? Second time I've actually mentioned it today. So whatever, you've got nothing in here. So why and where do I see that risk remains, risk prevails in the marketplace? And this is where people immediately, they cruise over to like VIX and they're like, no, man, the VIX came down pretty good. I'd agree. The VIX did come down pretty good. And the volatility futures, the volatility futures, they came down too, right into some of where the lows were yesterday. And the real problem though? Not where the volatility futures came down to. It's not the fact that the VIX actually came down. There's risk on and risk off asset classes. You start to look at the screen and it's all kinds of wrong. But before I even get there, I want you to look at the volatility futures themselves with me. And when I look at volatility futures, I'm literally going to freeze the screen and I'll look at the volatility futures. Forget about who cares about net change. Don't even worry about any of that. What I'm trying to display to you is that the volatility futures themselves, it looks like risk, kind of abated here in the next 2 weeks, but the risk from April to May to June is pretty flat. And what that kind of imparts upon us is we're still very much at a crossroads. Even though the marketplace definitely bounced back up. And look, I'm going to tell you right now, pretty significant bounce. Okay, the lower edge of this expected move, okay, from here to here is 144 points. Literally from this line to this line is 144 points. So from yesterday's lows, you're like 160 points higher from that. Great. Newsflash, nobody cares. Clearly nobody cares because the volatility futures, even with the rally, the volatility futures, they haven't normalized. They're not even close to normalizing. And that's why I say like risk is still prevalent, risk still remains, okay? You kind of got to keep your helmet on a little bit. And then you start looking down some of the list of usual suspects. And it's a rally today, but it's kind of meager. Like, all right, you got me here. All right, Meta, it's up big, okay? It's Meta for the win, it's up over 2%. And Nvidia for the win, it's up 2%. And, Broadcom, which has earnings after the bell, okay? And you got a little Tesla in here and Amazon. I mean, Amazon, what happened here? Just a fierce move to the upside. Meanwhile, Google and Apple are kind of struggling. There's still this bifurcation inside of tech. It's just all kinds of unnatural. Meanwhile, the financials, okay, they rallied. They're up 0.7%, but they're not even up as much as the S&Ps. Again, today's bounce, and the day's not over, but today's bounce in the market, it leaves a huge amount to be desired. In fact, okay, more often than not, when you're up like this, you should see us kind of squeeze into the close, but there's still a chance we even reverse. Okay. It is an uncertain marketplace. And that's, when you really want to talk about volatility in the overall marketplace, right? Day to day, it just basically scream out uncertainty. And when you start looking at this tape, and when I was talking about, risk on and risk off asset classes, as we rally here, take a look in the last few days of like XLP. Makes very little sense because geopolitical risk came flying in on Monday and XLP, right, which is consumer staples, started selling off on Monday. That just doesn't seem right. Doesn't seem right. You're like, well, why? Okay, because this is XLP is typically where you want to go when there's a flight from the marketplace. When you're scared, you want to go into stuff like Walmart. You want to buy stuff, okay, that's, got the performance, in terms of, a flight to safety. And you're just not seeing that. I saw Caterpillar in the last couple of days just get absolutely kind of decimated in here. Trade all over the place, okay? It's, again, broken, disconnected. The advanced decline line is still an absolute mess in here, okay? Even though the S&Ps are up almost 70 points, you're not in this wildly positive advanced decline line. There's still some areas, okay, as I said, kind of leave some price action to be desired. Nevertheless, okay, the dollar raged to the upside. It's definitely some give back over here, okay, but that's not even necessarily helping gold's cause at all after yesterday's just immense sell-off. Again, you kind of have to step back from just looking at these S&Ps. The S&Ps, to me, they're just not saying anything. You're stuck right back in that same range. Like I'm just ready to scream every time we go, 68.50, drink, okay? It's not giving you anything. But the volatility, okay, again, even though it's down, refuses to kind of back off. The actual, okay, volatility structure itself is still proclaiming that there's quite a degree of risk. We look at products like VVIX, okay? And for those of you that are not necessarily intimately familiar with VVIX, it's actually come down. You're like, okay, is it waving the all clear? No, this is just basically firms taking off some hedges in here. It's to be expected after a significant move. But do not be surprised in the least to continue to see some wild and woolly two-sided trade. Last aspect in here to kind of further this, again, the week at large in the SPX is like to the penny right now, unchanged on the week. But we still have, and again, it's significant, it's a $144 expected move. Obviously, we've already tagged on Tuesday the lower edge of the expected move, bounced from there. What do we have left? Okay, just for Thursday and Friday, there's still about an $82 anticipation of movement. It's still highly elevated. Okay, the situation, once again, nobody here is waving this all clear. Even though markets, you may feel, maybe hit a little bit of a bottom. Okay, maybe it's a short-term tradable bottom. I think that some real buying, okay, right now provides, if you will, kind of an opportunity, all right, to possibly even retest some of the lows. And given the fact that, again, the S&P is just watching them on an intraday basis here, there's absolutely nothing going on. There's no size trading behind this. You have a rally being met by nothing. We're lucky to be doing 1,000 contracts a minute in the S&Ps. There's just not a lot of oomph behind this. You would expect much more explosive move. You're not getting it, okay? Be on the lookout here, people. As I said, look, we're back in the range, but that risk, it still remains. Thanks, everybody, for joining us here at TheoTRADE. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.